Libra, welcome to your reading. This is a general reading for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, any relevant placement to you, as well as cross watchers. You are welcome here as well. We're going to pull a couple of cards from the Tarot Nefertari tarot deck, and then I will pull some oracle cards from the Keepers of the Light oracle deck. We'll look at your past, present, and future and see if we can glean any lessons that you can take with you on your journey. With that being said, let's get started. Spirit, I thank you for the opportunity to read for the Libra collective today and ask for your protection, not only for myself, but for the message in the collective as I perform this act of divination for us. I'm thankful for this opportunity, and I ask for clear and concise messages to guide the collective, for which I'm very grateful. Ashe, Amin. All right, so, Libra. For those who don't know, I am a Libra moon. So, this is also something I'm interested to know as well. Hope you've been well. I hope that the weather wherever you are has been conducive to your happiness, and if not, that it becomes so soon, or that you have some other outlet for finding joy. I know for a lot of people right now, it is the dead of winter, and it can be... I'm from New England in the U.S. I don't live there currently, but I grew up in New England, and yeah, I actually miss the winters because where I live now, I don't experience winter the same. So even though it is January and it is winter in the northern hemisphere, it doesn't look like that outside my window, which, you know, I'm happy for. But when it's too hot, I actually find myself in the house a lot, and like waiting to do outdoor activities like go to the beach and things like that in the afternoon, going into the evening when it cools down. All right, so let's pull your past, present, and the future. Oh, okay. Well, that was really easy. Very interesting. So in your past position, you have the Knight of Swords. You have taken on a new mindset. And this mindset seems to be a grind set. I'm not going to lie to you. Because in the present position, you have the Two of Pentacles. And you are in this time where you're deciding where you want to invest, whether it is your time, your currency. And current, you could have social currency. You could have, you know, if you're, let's say, for example, you're beautiful and you go places, people give you free things. You have beauty as a social currency. You might have money as your currency. You gain access to capital. You become more liquid. You're using something that you have an abundance of in order to get you where you want to go, which is the Ten of Pentacles in the incoming future. So you have a return on investment coming in, and it looks really good. It looks like you're putting your head down and you are getting to the bag. Let's get right into it. Why is the Knight of Swords here in the past position? I'm not going to take these because none showed their faces. Respectfully, let's go ahead, shuffle, and try again. Why is the Knight of Swords? Thank you. The Hierophant. You might have Taurus in your chart. I'm a Taurus sun. Go ahead and check out the Taurus reading if that is the case. If you do have Taurus in your chart, check out the Taurus career readings that I do. I try to focus on, you know, the money vibes as much as possible. I'll also be dropping a Libra career reading as well. So be sure to keep an eye out for those. But you have tapped into this very divinely guided, first of all, energy. You're moving through intuition, but also logic. And so you're very, very, very heightened in terms of your ability to bring that which was first existing in the mind space as an idea into the physical. So I kind of see the Hierophant in a lot of ways as a precursor to the Magician. So I think it's the energy. It's an energy that leads into magician-like energy. So very, very great for manifestation. Might also have been dealing with the Taurus, or you might have Taurus in your chart. Is there anything else that you can tell me about the recent past? About the Hierophant? Very responsible, very on your job. Yeah, you're not playing around. Like, you're not playing around. You have the Emperor as well. Like, when I say you're not, like, You're not like when I say grind set, baby. You about to take on a new side hustle, something. Please go look at the like. I'm gonna keep this general. So if you have a more career finance focused curiosity with how you're viewing this, definitely go check out the career. You have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, you saving your money. You're saving your coin. I know for some, the Four of Pentacles can allude to being a little bit too stingy, a little bit too frugal. But baby, you said you were saving them coins and you're not coming up off of that money. You said that you were going to save your coin until you are ready to put it somewhere. And it looks like in the current position, you have found somewhere that you want to put it. So whether it is you finally buying that little microphone that you wanted, because child, I didn't want to buy. I'm going to be honest with you. I've had this microphone. I have another YouTube channel. But I've had this microphone for like a year and some change. And at first when I bought it, I did not want to pay the price that I had to pay for the microphone. But without the microphone, the videos sound trash. And this is my hobby. I enjoy doing this. But like, that's just an example. You know what I'm saying? So you saved your money and you're like, I know I'm going to find somewhere to put this. You know, I'm working really hard. I'm grinding really hard. Like, I'm very responsible. I'm on my stuff right now. I'm not playing around. This is not the time for needless spending. And like, that's the energy I'm getting from you in the recent past. And so you finally found something to put that energy and or those resources into that is multiplying in the future. So what can you tell us in the future, in the present regarding the Two of Pentacles? Why is the Two of Pentacles here? This is, ooh-wee. Okay. All right. That's a lot of cards. I'm going to take these and I'm going to let these go back in the deck. The ones whose faces have not shown. Wow. I get excited when I do these because it's so interesting. Also, I am a Libra mood, so I'm applying this to my life and I'm like, yo, like, you're in my business? Don't do that. So you have the Ten of Swords. So you know what you're not investing in. So you have clarity. I know the Ten of Swords for many can be like, oh my God, like the pain, whatever it is, the way that I'm seeing this, whatever it is that you went through in the past that even put you in a position where you're like, you know what, I need to change my mindset and I need to get on my grind. Like whatever it was that pushed you into that negative situation, because there is one. Check out the previous week's Libra general reading as well if you're looking for more clarity on what that might have looked like. But you are, whatever it is that drove you to this productive point that you find yourself in the recent past, leading into your present and nourishing and multiplying your future gains. The worst of that is over, number one. Number two, you realize that you dodged a bullet, right? And you realize this because now you're on your grind and you're realizing now that you're on your grind and you're very intentional about where you're putting your energy and your resources, you realize that this energy could never have sustained or even contributed to the type of success that you're going to see in the future. You couldn't have this kind of blessing around this kind of energy, the kind of energy that pushed you so far off the cliff that you were like, you know what, I'm just going to focus on my money. So keep that in mind. You also have the Knight of Cups. So you have a swiftly entering, emotionally fulfilling experience, which seems to be also nourishing. So not just, I'm hearing, I'm hearing, you know what you don't want to invest in, which was the past energy. Like, so like, for example, let's say that you were working at a job and they were always stressing you out and they never appreciated you and they were always asking you to stay late and like you were salaried, so you don't even get paid extra for, like, it was ghetto. Like, it was a very ghetto situation. It was not serving you. You were like, you know what? I'm going to come to work, but you know what? I'm going to go on Indeed and look for a new job while I'm on the company computer because I don't give a, you know what I mean? That's the energy that I'm picking up on. Like, you were like, yeah, no, I'm doing my slides for the quarterly report, but I'm also scheduling this interview because you're playing in my face. Like, I've had enough. I'm leaving. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm, you know, and so that it's kind of like that kind of energy. It obviously doesn't have to be that specifically. Take it as it resonates and apply it to your situation. But like so you know what you don't want to invest in. So it would have been, that's what you don't want to invest in. So you know, you're on the people company computer and you're applying to some new jobs and you scheduling interviews and you end up going and having a remote interview on your lunch break and they hire you right there on the spot, baby, because you know what you do want to invest. So it's like it becomes clear to you in the present is what I'm trying to illustrate to you. It becomes abundantly clear to you what you do want to invest in, which is this new, swiftly approaching, might I add, emotionally fulfilling or potentially emotionally fulfilling experience, and you know what you don't want to invest in because you've already experienced it in the worst of the lessons that you needed to pick up from that experience. You've already learned those lessons and you've already begun metabolizing them, and you've already started turning them into wisdom. My grandmother used to always say that wisdom is just pain that has been allowed to ripen or ferment. So with that being said, it's now you have the clarity that perhaps you wish you had in the past, but that lack of clarity that maybe would have served you in the past would also have it would have led to different outcomes, and the outcome that you're in is one where you have a lot more wisdom than you would have had things gone the way that you thought you wanted them to go, which is what I'm hearing. You wanted to be in control of how certain things went down, don't we all? Didn't go down the way that you saw. You decided to focus on yourself because you realize I can only control me, so I'm going to show up as responsible. This is your recent past. I'm going to show up as responsible, in tune, and intentional. And now, because of that, you've manifested this clarity, this discernment. Now you can see what is worth investing in and what is not worth investing in. Going into the future now, you have the 10 of Pentacles. Not my Roomba. Hold on, let me turn the Roomba off. That scared the absolute bejeebies out of me, man. Oh my gosh. All right, so why is the 10 of Pentacles here? Why is the 10 of Pentacles here? I mean, I just want clarity so we can understand. 9 of Swords. So, again, you have... The 9 of Swords to me can represent anxiety, but it can also represent wisdom gained through profound suffering, quite frankly. And so you're leaning upon the experiences that you had. Do you see what I'm saying? You have this 10 of Swords energy. You know what you have this recently fresh on your mind, all these negative experiences that you experienced in the past that pushed you into this very intentional, directed energy. You still have that on your mind. These lessons are still serving you in the future. It's just not attached to the pain that drove you into a new era, which ultimately is a good thing. It just doesn't feel good. What more can you tell me? So very wise. You're in a very wise position. Just be mindful of not, just be mindful of not taking on the anxiety that you felt as well. So try not to relive the exact experience. Just try to keep it to the facts and what you learned from the experience. So that way you're not having to relive it and go through the emotional turmoil and pain that you experienced. Just focus on the lessons. Distill it, right? Distill the experience and just take out the lessons. And then, of course, process the emotional part, however is accessible. And, so whether that's with a journaling routine, whether it's with a therapist, talking with a friend, however you want to do that. But so don't neglect the emotional pain that you might have experienced in the past is what I'm also hearing. Address it, but going forward, once you've addressed it, make sure that you're only distilling and pulling out the lesson, that you're not reliving the emotional part. You have Justice. So this is you. This is Libra. So you're standing very firm in your energy. Things are shifting in a way that to you'd perceive as being in your favor, right? And then you also have the 8 of Pentacles. And so this is something that you have been steadily working at. This is not like an overnight kind of thing. You started whatever this is that's paying off for you, coming up. This is something that you started working on really and truly in the past. So you see this story of progression. The pretext, the context to this that led up to the recent past. You went through something that I'm not going to say broke you, but pushed you to a point where you were like, okay, I'm going to focus on me. I can control me. I can control how I show up. I show up in this way because I want a certain result. I know what is worth focusing on and what is not worth focusing on. And I know where I want to spend my attention, where I want to spend the currency of my attention and my focus. So now because you know this and you're able to keep up with and remember and learn from continually the lessons you experience in your past, now you're able to get to a point where you can continue to steadily grow your gains, whatever that may look like for you. So whether it's a thriving community where you always feel supported, whether it is lots of savings in the bank, whether it's a new job, whatever it is that you're looking to grow in, you're able to grow and sustain it because you have discernment gained from the wisdom that you got from your previous experiences, and you're able to stand very firmly in your energy as a Libra placement because now you understand why you went through what you went through. So now you can look at things with a bit more objectivity, which is, Libras are actually really good at that. People like to stereotype Libras and Libra placements as very airheaded and very focused on things that are not exactly important. But I never really thought that was the case. I think Libra just does a really good job of concealing from others what it is that is really important to them because they are protecting it spiritually. All right, so with that being said, let's pull a couple of oracle cards so that we can leave off with some advice to guide us on our journey. Hopefully this has been helpful to you so far. And I'd love to know what lessons you are working on. I was saying there's a very similar theme in the Taurus reading as well. So if you want to check that out, feel free in the Taurus general for this week. But I was saying that one of the lessons that I was learning and just distilling and just taking the lesson, because thankfully I've been able to process the emotional component of the experience, is the idea that, I can't control people's perception of me and I shouldn't be concerned with that perception anyway. It'll put you in a cage. And the next thing you know, you're twice the age you are now and you're miserable and you're judging young people because you're mad that you didn't cultivate the kind of experiences you wanted to have when you were their age. So now you're sitting up here mad at these damn kids because you didn't live the kind of life you wanted to live. And I just don't want that for me. I've seen people like that and I'm like, I don't want that for me. I want to be a happy old lady. I want to be the old lady that, I lived and I had stories to tell, All right, so what advice? Woo! My gosh. I'm going to... Three cards flew out. I'm not gonna take them because their faces in the show, but if you have a lot of ideas, this is so random, but if it applies, if you have a lot of ideas and you feel like, I'm an idea generator, but I just can't seem to write them down. What did Erykah Badu say? She said something like, write things down on real paper with a real pencil and watch ish get real. Write it down. I have a creativity journal, and that is where I write down all of my ideas. And some of them are zany as hell, and I'm like, yo, I don't care. I'm writing it down. I got something to say. Because I might come back to it later. There are ideas that I pick up a year or two later, and they take off. But if I had tried to do it immediately, I didn't have the resources or the understanding or, whatever it is. All right. Let's see. Archangel Michael, trusting heaven. You are safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. This is the card. For those of you who work with Orishas, this is so specific and you're familiar with Orishas, this would be Eleba. Okay? So there's a lot of, I forgot the word. Yeah, the word is evading me right now. But there's a lot of overlap, or a lot of times, for people. So I am Latina. I am of Cuban heritage, and so I grew up in a family of practitioners. And so a lot of times, you'll see people with an Archangel Michael candle, and they're channeling. It's one energy, but it can be expressed as many different flavors on Earth, depending on the culture. But yeah, so that is very specific. But if you had a thing, or you made a petition and you started working with Eleba and you feel like, he's ignoring me, or I started working with Archangel Michael and I started doing that on that path and I feel like I'm being ignored, you're not being ignored. You're being prepared, which can sometimes not feel like it, but you're being prepared. All right. Thank you. We have El Moria, which is awakening presence. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. For some of you, you might need to actually like physically cloak as well. Like you might, need to speak a prayer over yourself before you leave or when you first get up. You need to affirm to yourself whatever you need to affirm. For others of you, it might be, like I said, a physical cloak or like a veil or maybe a certain garment that you speak over before you put it on. However you see fit, but protect yourself and remember that you are a spark of the universe. And so you are very, very important in the grand scheme of things. Never forget that. Is there anything else? Ooh, 2 more. Cool. Thank you. We have Mother Mary. I like the imagery on all the cards. We have Mother Mary, love and peace. Let go of the need to be right, which is really difficult to do sometimes, not gonna lie. I'm a Taurus sun, so I'm very fixed and very stubborn. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. Some of you also might have a mother wound. And so make sure, if it's not something that you can do in the physical plane, try to do in the spiritual plane. Write these things down, write letters and burn them, all those types of things to help process if that is something that you do deal with. And then lastly, we have Commander Ashtad. Call to action. Take charge. Lead by example. Walk your talk, which you clearly have been doing since the recent past. This is not something that I need to tell you. Just keep it up. So if you say you're going to do something, do it. The sexiest thing that you can do is what you said you were going to do, and that's in all arenas. All right, so with that being said, thank you so much, Libra, for spending this time with me. I hope this message has been helpful for you. As always, I hope you are well, that you are safe. Be blessed, be well. I will talk to you soon.